As we all know by now, the theme of this wonderful weekend of celebration is Let It Shine, which is deeply fitting also thematically for this festival of Chanukah that we celebrate together every year. Chanukah, I don't need to tell you, is the celebration of the miraculous. All kinds of miracles we celebrate on Chanukah, miracles big and small. Just the very act of casting light from a candle is itself miraculous. Think about it. It's an act that requires only the most humble of materials, a scrap of cotton, a drop of oil, and from them can dance a flame that warms and brightens a room, a family, a community. Tonight we are celebrating and installing an amazing, illuminating cantor who works in precisely that kind of miracle. She is a person who shows us that the people we are and the offerings we bring, no matter how modest or extravagant, can cast a penetrating and astonishing light. And so at this time in our service, I have the honor of welcoming to the Bima a valued teacher and mentor of Cantor Simmons, who has now become a cherished colleague and friend. It is a joy to welcome him here to offer some reflections and to install her as the cantor of this great and historic synagogue. This isn't Cantor Richard Cohn's first time on this bima. Many of you know him well by now, and it's a terrific feeling to welcome him back after his leadership of our High Holy Day services last year and after he delivered one of our most memorable lectures as part of our annual endowment series. Just a word about his background, about the path that leads him to us this Shabbat Eve. Cantor Cohn has given decades upon decades of service to Reform communities across the country, serving synagogues from Chicago to Dallas, having served for 6 years as the president of the American Conference of Cantors, and having served for the last 2.5 years as the director of the Debbie Friedman School of Sacred Music. He is passionate about Jewish prayer that stirs and transforms the worshiper. He is an innovative and creative and deeply faithful composer, arranger, and conductor of Jewish music of all kinds. Cantor Cohn is what it looks like when a faithful, reflective, conscientious religious leader both talks the talk and walks the walk. He takes seriously the practice of spiritual growth, as anyone who has learned and sung and prayed with him can see instantly, deeply, and immediately. And so on this night that our congregation lets it shine, it is appropriate and joyful for me to invite to the bima the cantor who recognized the spark in Cantor Simmons and helped nurture it into the bright, warm glow that all of us can warm ourselves by. Cantor Richard Cohn.
Okay, well, Cantor Simmons, I think this is the part of the evening that's about I had to work on that because I just love the whole letter thing. And I wish I were in the children's choir so that I could have a letter too. Except my letter would be the letter R, and we don't have a letter R for tonight. Very well. She'll do without letter R. What a great joy it is to return to Emmanuel and to join in this celebration of your marvelous, melodious, magnanimous, mellifluous cantor. I didn't even know you were going to do those two M's earlier. So, for those of you who are keeping track, that was one big M word for each light of Chanukah so far, 4 of them. But they weren't as big as your words. What were some of those great words you did earlier? What was it? Anti-disestablishmentarianism, one of my favorites, and it has an M in it. Any more, you remember? Onomatopoeia. Those are such good words. So I only picked out those 4 for you tonight. So to be here with my longtime bud, Rabbi Hayon, who is rarely referred to as Bud, and with my co-conspirator, Rabbi Silk, we'll never reveal our secret mission. With my New York ordained, where have you been since May, Rabbi Fixler? Well, we all know he moved to Texas just in time. With Rabbi Walter, my office behind the Bema music enthusiast. With Jeff and all y'all with whom I enjoyed such a fulfilling High Holy Day season way back in 57-77. And of course, our honoree tonight, Cantor Rollin Simmons. What could be better than to be here on this luminous Shabbat Chanukah? You know, it occurred to me that Chanukah is about the rededication of an ancient sanctuary, and this installation is about rededicating a relationship, the seeds of which were planted when Cantor Simmons first came to interview here, and the harvest of which began in July, continues to this day, and will shine ever more brightly as you and she grow together in song, learning, and life. How cool is that? It's cool, right? Okay. I've been thinking about when I first met Cantor Simmons. She was Rollin then, which I think is still true. I was in New York with my friend Connie Duffner, and we were looking for a student cantor for our small congregation with a familiar name up the road from here a ways. We may or may not have had any idea what we were doing. So this rising senior in the Debbie Friedman School of Sacred Music at HUC-JR completely touches our hearts, and before you know it, there she is going back and forth on the shuttle to Dallas, connecting deeply with people of every age, singing like an angel, teaching through who she is with graciousness and poise. We were wowed. For me as a cantor, the whole year was one of rich discovery as I came to experience our musical world through Rollin's spiritual eyes. A year capped off by her remarkable senior recital, in which she invoked music of meaning and relationship to express unity among people whose differing faiths became more brightly radiant in one another's presence, just like the many-colored candles of a Chanukah. And finally, the special occasion of ordination, as Cantor Simmons was blessed before the ark of another Emmanuel in the city of New York. Those were some good days. Our friend Rabbi David Siegel was there then. I remember we were admiring Rollin and David's wedding photos with my wife Marcia, the 4 of us communing over a dinner. They're great photos. You should have seen their wedding. Okay, you don't want to hear all about the wedding, but it was beautiful. And it was before, well, it was BL, before Levi. And it was BB, before B. And now, here's your precious family thriving in this place, bringing more and more joy and light to your immediate family, most of whom are here, and all of this extended family. So you can see I am completely verklempt. This is just too much. It's overwhelming. I guess you'd say I got to know Cantor Simmons pretty well during our time in Dallas. Even after she became cantor of the whole Rocky Mountains up in Aspen. We've been in touch regularly over the years, and I felt so privileged to enjoy this trusting, collegial relationship and enduring friendship, which has sustained me during some really important passages in my life. And that brings me to my main point. Who is this person with whom you're consecrating this covenant tonight? I bet you have that pretty well figured out by now, but just in case, here's how I see it. Cantor Simmons is a superior musician whose mastery of her craft makes it possible for us to feel the nuance and the exaltation of song. She is an eminently gentle presence in times when we look to her for support and kindness. She is entrepreneurially creative, bringing new music into the world and invigorating concerts, programs, and learning with innovation and artistic skill. She is innately prayerful, helping us to connect more vibrantly to the prayers that we find within ourselves. She brings people together. What could be more evidentiary of that than this very evening? Understanding that spiritual pursuits are essentially relational ones, drawing us into her world and into one another's to find common purpose and joy. She is profoundly versatile. I remember singing in one of her transformative concerts, and as her solos came and went, I kept thinking, how can one person be so at home in all these different kinds of music? And yet, it was so. She is the true embodiment of a compassionate heart, while also being manifestly principled and resolute. She is endearingly human, and honestly, she just wants to be with her community, family, friends, and colleagues in wholeness and in safety. Isn't that a yearning we all share? So it's the most natural thing in the world to consecrate Rollin's Cantorate in Houston as a celebration of the Emanu community, where we seek to dwell together in God's presence, Emmanuel, God with us, feeling God's Spirit resonate among and between. A short teaching then for this Sabbath of light during the Festival of Lights. During Kabbalat Shabbat, the welcoming service for Sabbath, we sometimes sing words from Psalm 97. Or zarua la tzadik, ulisharei lev simcha. Light is sown for the righteous, and for the straight of heart, joy. What does this mean? Rabbi Moshe Chaim Ephraim of Sadikov, grandson of the great Hasidic master, the Baal Shem Tov, gets at it this way. Teaching on a passage from Deuteronomy that describes the laws and rules of the Torah as if they were tzaddikim, righteous ones, he turns to our Kabbalat Shabbat verse from Psalms. Light is sown for the righteous, and for the straight of heart, joy. And this is what he says. What this means is that the Holy Blessed One takes some of the light of God's very own being and sows, that is, plants like seedlings in the soil, that very light into the world. From that light, a righteous person sprouts up. Abraham embodied the light of daybreak, clear and white. Isaac embodied red light. And then also all the other wise and insightful righteous ones in every generation, women, men, and children. In this same way, there are righteous ones who embody one particular light of one particular mitzvah, which itself contains all the 613 mitzvot. A righteous person comes into the world and lights it up. And each of us, each one, does so in her or his own way. Our work will be according to the light from which we were created, the light of Torah, the light of tzedakah, the light of welcoming guests, all different kinds of mitzvot. A mysterious teaching that God's light is right within each of us, and from it we are created, each of us radiating different hues like brightly colored menorah candles. And our particular radiance contains within it all the other shadings of light, all of the possible mitzvah energies. And these lights sing and dance with each other, animated by the one light, the Holy One, from whom they arise. We are those lights, Yes, every single soul in this room and those not here tonight who are part of this Emmanuel family. The deepest privilege for which a clergy person could ever hope is that, by offering her special light to a community, all the other lights might shine more brightly, and that, by the communities offering your special lights to her, her soul might grow ever more brilliant in return. This, then, is our prayer, that in this new and holy relationship, you, the people of Emmanuel, and Cantor Rollin Simmons, will illumine God's presence revealed in one another, so that light and warmth and joy will increase in this special place and in all the hearts who call it home. O Zaru ala Tzadik, Ul Yishrei Lev Simcha, Ul Yishrei Lev Simcha, Ul Yishrei Lev Simcha. Let's see if we can all sing that. Once again and faster. Now the clergy are going to distract Cantor Simmons while I teach you three words. Ken Yehi Ratzon. Everybody say that. Ken Yehi Ratzon. And I'll bet you can sing it like this. Ken Yehi Ratzon. Rehearsal. Ken Yehi Ratzon. So we'll sing. Don't tell her. And then we'll go. Ken Yehi Ratzon.
May God bless you and keep you.
Ken Yehi Ratzon. Yahir Adonai Panav Elecha
May the light of God's presence shine down upon you and be very sweet, gracious.
May God's presence be lifted up to you. May you be blessed with God's gifts of wholeness, goodness, and peace.
Sheheyanu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu l'zman hazeh.
Wow. As a cantor, Shabbat involves cue sheets and rehearsals, time for planning and coordinating. Sometimes it's hard to remember that Shabbat is about rest. Friday arrives, and I have to admit that sometimes I think, oi, it's Friday again. But then I step onto the bima and I pick up my guitar and I start to sing, and something changes in me. The weight of all the logistics lifts, and all that is left is the music. I look out and I see people smiling and singing along, and suddenly I am filled with joy, except when my daughter falls down. Shabbat has arrived, and I am grateful for it. You'll be okay. I am so grateful. I am on an incredible journey, and there are so many people here in this room tonight who have been a part of it. My amazing parents, who taught me and molded me, and who schlepped to see me wherever I may be, Italy, Israel, New York, Aspen, and now Houston. My husband, David, on his way out, who is my partner and my best friend. My beautiful children, Levi and B, who will appear later, who reconnect me to wonder and imagination. My Houston family, who generously help us and love us every step of the way. To Cantor Richard Cohn, I'm so thrilled to have you here tonight to share this bima and today with me. Cantor Cohn became my mentor back in Dallas when I was still in school and continues to coach me and keep me grounded. My dear friend Leonard, president of the Aspen Jewish Congregation, where I held my first job as an ordained cantor, and where I built up my repertoire of skills that prepared me so well for this new adventure. And to you all here at Emmanuel, to my awesome clergy team, Rabbi Hayon, Rabbi Silk, Rabbi Fixler, I am grateful for your inspiration, your support, and your caring. Stephanie and the Healthman team, I am honored to partner with you to provide extraordinary Jewish education. To Paula and the Becker team for your nurturing care of all the little ones, especially my little one. To David, Jason, Donna, and the entire staff for all of your hard work making everything happen. To Jeff and all of the board for your leadership. To the planning committee for this weekend, thank you for all of your dedication and hard work. And to all the musical folks, our stellar Shabbatons, Barbara, Julie, Dee Dee, Greg, David, Mike, and those who are here tonight. To our accompanists, Anne and Yanina, and to our adult and youth choirs who lift us up with their beautiful voices and sweet spirit. This weekend serves as a model of my vision for music at Emmanuel, with voices of all ages singing with spirit, with enthusiastic instrumentalists enhancing our worship. Tomorrow night, you will meet Alana Arian, a rising star in the world of Jewish music, and the first of many special musical guests that I hope to bring to Emmanuel. I envision music at Emmanuel as a broad spectrum of experiences, from fun and rocking to peaceful and meditative, to thought-provoking and inspiring, bringing together tradition and innovation. I want to encourage everyone in this community to let it shine. To all of you here tonight, I am grateful for you. I am so proud to call Emmanuel my new home. I'm looking forward to learning with you and singing with you as we grow together from strength to strength. Shabbat Shalom and happy Chanukah.